There are 4 roles: attacker mechs, tank mechs, support mechs, and scout mechs. But what's the best mech for each role? Watch to find out. And if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe. So first is attacker mechs, and I think Panther's the best attacker mech. He's just such a strong mech. His ability is extremely useful for giving cover to you and your teammates. People forget that he's a really strong support mech. His ability isn't just for protecting you, but it's for protecting your teammates as well. Having a few Panthers on the team is a must-have for almost every map. He is kind of squishy and gets wrecked by disc launchers on close range maps. He's also kind of slow, so he gets wrecked by mortars. Guardian is also a really strong attacker mech. His ability is extremely strong at close range. It counters every mech in the game at close range. But when he gets far from enemies at mid-range and long range, he's not as good. Guardian is slightly tankier than Panther, but he's way slower than Panther. He's extremely slow and gets wrecked by mortars even harder than Panther. So I think Panther is better since he's better at all ranges. Guardian, on the other hand, really only is good at close range, and Panther can help out his team a lot more than Guardian can. Guardian is an extremely strong mech with the system crash range implant. It makes him good at mid-range as well, but I still think even with that implant, Panther is better. Guardian is just way too slow. The next role is tank mechs, and I think Bastion's the best tank. Bastion is extremely strong. He's super tanky, has a strong shield, has a stun, and even deals damage. He's also really the only tank that feels like a tank. All the other tanks are pretty squishy. Aegis is also a really strong tank. He's being used by a lot of players in competitive matches. Aegis warfare completely counters the meta. Having 2 Aegises on your team means you can pretty much do anything. You can capture beacons or protect your teammates without the enemy being able to do anything about it. The only thing that counter Aegises are Surges or Guardians. Guardian can system crash the dome, and Surge can dash into the dome and kill the Aegises. But even against Surge, Aegis does pretty well. If you stand right behind your dome when the Surge dashes at you, the Surge won't stun you. He's an extremely difficult mech to use, but if you use him right, he's extremely effective. So although Aegis is a really strong mech, I think Bastion's better. He's way easier to use, much tankier than Aegis, and extremely strong, especially at close range. The next role is support mechs, and I think Orion is the best support mech. He counters Bastion, who's one of the best mechs in the game. He's also a really strong support mech. You can help your team a ton by hitting enemies with marks. He also has a really fast cooldown. If you miss, you can just spam the mark at enemies until you hit someone. He is really squishy, but you can get around that if you wall peek with him. Brickhouse is also a pretty strong mech. He has really high DPS and can help his team a ton with that damage boost. He also has a pretty good amount of HP as well, but he's just way too slow. He's one of the slowest mechs in the game, and no one wants to use a slow mech. He also gets wrecked by mortars and has a big hitbox, so he's easy to hit. So because of this, I think Orion's better, even though they both help their team a lot. And the last role is scout mechs, and I think Surge is the best scout mech. It's extremely close between Surge and Eclipse, but I think Surge is slightly better. Surge has a dash that gives him crazy mobility. He has a stun that helps him at close range, and a stealth that helps him be sneaky. Eclipse, on the other hand, has a speed boost that gives him decent mobility. He has immunity to all debuffs that makes him really good at close range, and a stealth that makes him super sneaky. So Surge's dash is much better than Eclipse's speed boost. Surge's dash can almost take him anywhere instantly. If Eclipse wants to go somewhere, he has to go into the open, which makes him vulnerable to getting sniped. Surge has much better mobility with his dash than Eclipse has. And Eclipse's stealth is much better than Surge's stealth. It lasts way longer than Surge's does. But I think Surge's stun is more useful than Eclipse's debuff immunity is. Eclipse's debuff immunity protects him from debuffs, but it doesn't protect him from the enemy's weapons. He's still vulnerable from getting shot by the enemy, but Surge's stun does protect him from the enemy's weapons. If the enemy's stunned, they can't kill Surge, and Surge can safely kill them. So I think Surge is better. A lot of people say that Eclipse counters Surge, but that's not true. I think it's a really even fight between Surge and Eclipse. Eclipse's ability cancels out Surge's stun, but after that they're both at an even playing field. Both of their abilities are useless against each other, and it's up to who kills the other with their weapon first. So I think Panther's the best attacker mech, Bastion's the best tank mech, Orion's the best support mech, and Surge is the best scout mech. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see ya guys.